Welcome, Chef Rebecca. Thank you for being here with us.
Thanks for having me.
So, you are one of our chefs to watch, and this is super cool because we are recording this on your 7-year anniversary in the food service field. So, I wondered if you could take us back 7 years ago today. What were you doing and where?
So actually, it's not just food service, but school nutrition
That's
specifically.
right. Yeah.
Yes, I started 7 years ago on Cinco de Mayo in Nashville with Metro Nashville Public Schools. I had gone through this health journey of my own and lost a bunch of weight, and I wanted to feel really good about what I was serving um, people. And at the time, I was a research and development chef for a restaurant chain that really focused on burgers, wings, and fries, and was not exactly serving what I wanted to.
Right.
So I made this wild move to Nashville with a friend from college, and I just kept searching nutrition chefs, healthy chefs, all these looking for this perfect opportunity. And this opening with Metro Nashville Public Schools came available. And I really hit it big there because I started out with 150 schools, not knowing anything about school nutrition. But I had a great team and dietitian that I worked with, and I learned so much from. Um, so we did about 100,000 meals a day there.
Oh, wow.
Um,
So that was
yeah,
pretty big district.
yes, very big. Um, like I said, started big and then decided I didn't feel like I was making as big of an impact as I wanted to. It was kind of too big.
Okay.
So I actually moved on to Spartanburg, South Carolina, to a district that was only, I think, 16 schools in this tiny little town, but only an hour from my family. So that was really nice.
That makes a difference.
And we had an organic farm right on district property.
Oh,
And yeah, so we had this really cool farm to school program there that I really enjoyed. But when Bertrand Weber calls you and says they have a chef position open with Minneapolis Public Schools, you come running.
yes.
I'm an Army brat, so moving is no big deal for me, across country or even countries. So I was really happy to move up here, and we have that great farm to school movement here as well that I've been able to continue.
Oh yeah, such an amazing program where you are now, and it's definitely like recognized across the country. And Bertrand has done so many good things over the years too, and we definitely are fans of him as well. So that makes sense. And I think it's a great ability that you have to move around. Like I kind of have stuck close to. I moved to Louisville, and I moved there long enough to know how to pronounce it. And that was right after college, and I was just like homesick. I hated it. It was too hot. But you have moved from hot to very cold, like winters in
Yeah.
Minneapolis, and it's kind of like you're rolling with it. But and then this year with outdoor feeding, oh my gosh. Let's talk about some numbers real quick. You have served, it's over 8 million meals during this whole thing, during this pandemic.
Yeah, and that's using so many different service models.
Yeah.
We started with brunch bags literally the day we closed.
Mm-hmm.
And then within weeks with waivers, we moved on to 7-day meal boxes. Um, that was a huge hit over the summer.
Yeah.
And then we did not go back to school until March, I believe, this year. So it's kind of been a hybrid of all the meal services. Even now, we've got the meal boxes, home deliveries, and in school as well.
Oh yeah, it's a lot. And you really went above and beyond for your community, for these kids and their families. with the meal boxes because you showed them, like, for example, like, hey, there's a bag of broccoli in here, and this can work for, the Parmesan or the chicken sort of fettuccine type thing. And really showing, and the brunch things that you did were amazing, where it's just you really made it fun. And I really believe that you made a difference to so many people, and like just kind of were like a bright sunbeam during this whole thing, which is awesome. So I guess that's not really a question.
Thank you. I was working from home, and I also was picking up boxes doing the unboxings, and I had all this extra food for myself. And I was like, what am I going to do with this?
Yeah.
So if I'm thinking that, obviously our customer and our students are thinking that as well. So I just started filming really simple videos on how to use some of those more bulk type items and make simple recipes.
That is just, it's really cool. And I think we've all gotten used to, like, recording things and being on Zoom, but still that's pretty brave to do. I don't think everybody likes to do it. Or, I mean, this is something where you went above and beyond. And I really like the way that you feature different fruits and veggies for the kids to kind of show them, like, this is cool. Like, I was just looking through your Instagram because I feel like that's such a good way to follow, like, what you've been doing with food. And you guys can follow her too. It's Chef Rebecca K-12 on Instagram. So you will see like her amazing stuff. There's in the fall you had the delicata squash, those things were and even just the way that you're like, we like to give things in whole forms. Like the sugar snap peas, where it's like just saute it in some olive oil, like some lemon zest, some salt, pepper.
Yeah.
I love that. So what kind of feedback did you get from the videos and for the meal boxes? Like, were people telling you and showing you like, oh, we tried this?
Yeah, my favorite, I think, is a video I posted that a parent shared with me of a girl. I think she was in third grade and was beyond ecstatic to receive Brussels sprouts in her box. And, what kid, do you think of gets excited about Brussels sprouts? So that was really fun to see.
Oh, yeah.
But it's been really great feedback. And not just on my videos, but on the things that we are providing in the box. And the delicata squash and things like that was special for October Farm to School Month, but we incorporated the whole vegetables and then recipes in the box, as well as a video for them to actually see the recipe being made if they needed a little more help. So
Right. Yeah, that is so cool. I mean, talk about making the best of just a crazy situation. And in Minneapolis, you've had the cold weather. I mean, it was a long winter. There has been civil unrest. There's been so much going on there, just in that city in particular. So it's kind of like, how are things, like, what's sort of the vibe in the city now? Like, are you feeling like people are hopeful that, I mean, I kind of feel like with the vaccine, more things, like what's sort of the feeling now?
Yeah, absolutely. Hope is definitely a really good word. I think we're waiting on an announcement tomorrow, I believe, from our governor, but he says summer is going to look as close to normal as possible, which is great to hear. So we're just really excited about that aspect of summer coming, warmer weather.
Yes.
New and different meal services. Again, with school being out, we'll do more boxes. And just looking forward to hopefully a new normal next year.
That's for sure. And we just got word from Washington, D.C. A couple weeks ago, that they are extending. So it's going to be easier for schools to do summer feeding, which we all think is great. So that's a good thing. Do you have any like recipes or ideas that you think that are going to kind of come alive this summer for those boxes?
We are going to kind of take a step back and go back to the basics for our menus and anything going forward. We want to work really on training staff and even our students in new flavor profiles. So we're going back to the basics. and kind of relearning everything. We've got a whole new, basically, staff that haven't cooked much in school. So we're going to be doing a lot of training this summer and next year, and kind of rolling things out in phases, just like COVID restrictions and things like that. We are kind of starting slow and then rolling out new recipes and things like that as we move forward.
Well, that sounds good. And you are in charge of overseeing, there's something like there's 72 sites, I think, where there's a lot of different things. And how different are they? Are there some kitchens there? I mean, it seems like that's 72 is quite a few.
I think 72 are every single one of them is different, it seems. I have not even completed a full school year in a normal school year because I started in the summer, and by March the next year is when we shut down. So I haven't even been to every school. Thankfully, I've met all or most of our staff in trainings and things like that. But we have pre-pack sites that everything is coming from our central kitchen. We have an amazing central kitchen facility where we're making meals, as well as for our on-sites, we do sauces, soups, dressings, and things like that. And eventually, this summer, we are working on construction, and we're moving forward with processing our own fruits and vegetables.
Oh, nice. That's going to be pretty cool. And I have seen the central production kitchen, and it's amazing. Like, honestly, school food professionals, if you are ever in that neck of the woods, see if you can call Rebecca or Bertram and get a little tour of it, because it's amazing. It's really it's like just a huge facility. Just looking at all the different stuff, it's like, whoa, that seems to be definitely like the powerhouse for your, and you got the people are the powerhouse too. So what do you throw into it when you're training people? Like you, I mean, you went to Johnson and Wales, and you have, but it's like, it's different to be a chef, or part of being a chef is being a leader. So what are some of the things that you've kind of learned, or that you are like in your toolbox for that?
I think just being a really good listener is number one. I like to go in and ask a lot of questions first and see what their operation is about. What kind of issues they may be having, whether it's just with their staff or with equipment, and recipes even, and then I kind of make a game plan from there. I don't like going in, people find me scary. I'm coming into their kitchen and they think I'm coming to tell them what they're doing wrong, which is, not a welcoming thing, but I'm there to help is what I say. I'm not there to tell you what's wrong. I want to make your job easier. I want the food to be better, not just for our students, but for you as well. I think, getting kids to eat healthy is not as hard as it is to actually get some of the adults to eat healthy, and changing their minds about some of the different things that they may see on our menus.
Absolutely. That's why K through 12 is such a great opportunity for chefs, and the whole idea of chefs move to schools and like getting into this. So when you were at Johnson and Wales, what is this like totally different than what you ever thought you would be doing, right?
Absolutely. So I actually graduated from Florida State with a fashion merchandising and business degree. So I still I rep out my leopard still.
Oh, yeah.
And Stephanie Dove and I from Kellogg's, we kind of talk about our past all the time in fashion, and it's fun still.
She's stylish too. Absolutely.
Absolutely. But, I've always kind of had that creative side, and I've loved to cook. My grandfather was a chef. So after a few years in the business, I decided to go to culinary school at 25. And I thrived in culinary school. Actually, I think it'll be a week. I've now been out of culinary school 10 years.
Oh, wow.
And it was just such a fun time.
So cool.
Yes, I'm so happy I got to do that, and then I worked in fine dining and research and development. But school nutrition is really, I think, um, my my passion for the future, even.
Totally. There's so much heart there, and you are bringing it definitely every day.